Hello wonderful people of the world, I hope you're all doing well. I thought today I would do a bit of a behind the scenes of a shoot I did with Chili Pilates. I've been working with Chili's for about a year now, maybe two almost, and I just wanted to show you the process of doing a shoot in one of their studios. So for Chili's, they always ask for, or they typically ask for, headshots of the new instructors, as well as the photos of the instructors doing their favourite like exercise. So I'm just setting up for the headshots now. I always have a little, this is basically my mobile kit. It's dead simple, literally 4 light stands, a backdrop, some C-clamps, and that's essentially it, some flashes and some lantern diffusers. One of the main challenges with this whole studio was the fact that every single wall apart from the end one had mirrors, so I had to be very aware of where the light was going and what was happening. What I'm doing now is setting the white balance and just getting a couple of test shots in so that when the instructors come in they can pretty much go straight ahead, stand in and, you know, pose for a photo. I always start my headshot sessions by talking to the people first. I don't just get straight into it. I like to say, basically, you know, put them at ease, talk to them a little bit, and then, you know, go through what we're going to do, where to look, all of that sort of stuff. As you can see, it started to get very hot in that studio, so I did have to take my jumper off, hence the outfit change. This person here had glasses on, and one of the things you're about to see is me changing the position of the lighting and also her position in front of the thing, in front of the backdrop. That's because it was reflecting light into her glasses and it wasn't providing a very flattering light. Each of the instructors would come in, we'd do 3 poses, and then we'd do a silly pose. I always like to do a silly pose, especially if we're doing if we're doing a longer shoot. Because it puts people at ease in front of the camera later on. They've already done a silly pose and, you know, they're more likely to be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, we're in front of the camera, that's fine. So yeah, this chap was a little bit taller, so I did have to adjust the backdrop slightly. That's one thing that you do need to be aware of, is how much headroom you've got in your photos, especially because if their head's too close to the top and the company is looking for a specific type of shot with a lot more headroom and a bit more like a passport photo type shot, that's one thing you've got to bear in mind. As you can see, I do also show each client the photos as well, just so they can see what they're looking like on the camera and make sure that they're happy with the photos. If they're not happy with the photos, then we just take some more. A lot of people as well are quite uncomfortable in front of the camera. That's one thing that helps put people at ease, is showing them the photos of themselves to show them what they look like. It does help. It's not always a big cure-all, but it does help that whole situation. You'll see me do a couple of poses as well, so I'll essentially act as their mirror so that they know what they're doing. It's not often that I have to do this, but you know, that's just one of these things. Yeah, I just noticed that the backdrop was slightly out of skew, so I did have to fix that slightly, and also that light was falling ever so slightly. It wasn't until later that I realised that the actual top of the stand was broken, so I will be needing to replace that stand at some point soon. But yeah, this guy had a lot of fun with it. He did a load of fun poses as well. I just wanted to sort out his hair for that last couple of shots, so yeah. If you're wondering what I'm doing between people coming in, I'm basically checking the photos on the back of the camera and 5-star rating the ones that are best. So that'll be ones where their eyes are open, where they're smiling, where they're photos that they're more likely to use on their website. I do this for every single one of them. So now we're doing the exercises and the different movements. One of the things that was quite difficult with this with this studio is, as you can see in the background, the light just pretty much reflected the entire way down that hall of mirrors. Not ideal for when you're shooting, but that's okay. It's not too bad. The chap there walking around, that's Tom. He helps out on these shoots because he knows all of the positions. So he'll just say to the instructors, look, do these 3 positions or do 3 different positions. We'll photograph them as they go through them, and that's essentially what Tom's there for, is to talk to the instructor and say, look, this is what we're looking for, this is what we need, and yeah, it's really helpful to have people there. We'll also get the instructors to hold certain poses, so if you're at the height of a stretch or a height of a movement, we'll get them to hold those poses just so that we can get multiple shots of it. Obviously it can be quite a strain on them, so we do tend to be quite quick, or as quick as we can be. This is where the mirrors became a bit more of a challenge, and it was simply because the bed was facing the other way. So we kept on coming across the light hitting every single point of the mirror. So this is me trying to solve that problem, trying to work out different lighting that might help out. I'm using a little LED panel just to sort of fill out light where it needs to be. But yeah, this particular position of the bed wasn't really working, and that's something you find out. Not everything can be perfect first run, but you know, it does take some time. So there's a lot of problem solving in photography, especially in positions like this, in places like this, just because of the pure amount of mirrors and everything like that. One thing I like to do as well, if the client's there, or the person in charge of the shoot is there, what I like to do is let them look over my shoulder and just sort of have a look and see what the shots are looking like, and if they're happy with those sort of shots, then I'll continue to go ahead with those. I typically only do this if I'm not particularly sure about certain shots, but that's pretty rare. So after a while, this was one of the positions that we found would work better, or these were some of the positions we'd found would work better in this particular studio. Each of their studios is different as well, so there's always mirrors in them, but it's not always on all walls, and sometimes there's little spots where the light won't be reflected a million times, so it does look a bit surreal, but yeah, it does make a difference when you're going between different locations, and that's why I've built up the kit that I've got currently for this sort of shoot, because I want to make sure that I'm able to set up quickly and get everything, you know, sort of done and ready with as little hassle as possible. Obviously batteries die between shoots, and you know, you've got to come fully charged and everything, but on shoots like this was a 3-4 hour shoot. All of my batteries died. You know, I had to change them out at some point, and it was bound to happen, so yeah, that's what we did, and you'll probably see that very shortly. So as you can see, we've got another instructor in. This is the one where we were moving the light around and having a bit of an issue. We found the positions that would work better and the exercises that would work better, and we basically got him to come in and do those positions so we could get photos for him to use. Yeah, that's essentially that. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Obviously this is my first behind the scenes video that I've ever done, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to. I'm going to be doing more of these videos as time goes on, so yeah, keep an eye out for those. Yeah, catch you in the next one.